What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod.
And why do you have it like that to call the time you're going to stay for Patreon?
That's the real question.
And we'll sit for 20 minutes. Why do you have it like that?
This is a real valid question that you should answer, and then you should answer why you clocking that.
Because I'm jealous.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
You have to.
Fuck yes. I'm jealous as.
One thing I learned from Corey and Joe is that you have to work things into your deal. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I was able to have a conversation, and that's it. You know, I put some stipulations, and they accommodated me. She was talking to me regular. Hey, Flip, how you doing? By the way, can I ask you a question?
I feel like you called me.
You feel like what?
I feel like you called me.
Mel, we were talking. No, you text me. I got the text. Yo, I need to speak to you. Call me when you can. I called you.
You were on vacation?
No. No. I think it was the time I got suspended. Around that time, she was just finding out how I was. She started off with that, like, how you doing? Everything's all right. And she wanted to ask me a question, and that's what she asked me. Like, yo, how did you get your days off? How do you get a full day off and a Patreon off?
I don't recall that.
She said, no. You went further to say, what's the deal in your car? You're a legend. You tricked me into telling you.
All right, guys, I could be tripping. I could be putting way too much into this. I don't know. I don't think I am, but I could be. First of all, let me give Melyssa props because she keeps saying that Joe has taught her the tricks in the trade or the tricks of the trade in the podcasting space. And this could be her harping on what it is that he's always telling her. And she's just applying it, being a great podder. I was just saying about Flip the other day that Flip is able to move the needle in the comment section every time he speaks. Whether it's something good, whether it's something viral, whether it's something bad, people just are magnetized and polarized by Flip. And will speak on it in a positive or a negative manner. Flip, shut the fuck up, or I love Flip, keep the energy up. Melyssa's doing the same thing. It's just in a different aspect. When it comes to these gender wars, and when it comes to the things that she's constantly speaking about, she's great for that. And I didn't put those snippets in, but best believe she got a gender war topic started from her pocket watching Flip. And for her being nasty on Flip. The reason that I put those clips in, though, is because I want to speak on that. Flip, this is your fault, nigga. Because I am going to chastise Melyssa, but I do that enough, so I want to start off with praise with her. But Flip, this is your fault, nigga. And this is a lesson for everybody out there. Just because somebody's pretty and they're giving you vibes and they're giving you attention and they're acknowledging you, doesn't mean that you have to divulge every bit and piece about your life to them. Just because, and this is something that I'm still learning myself, just because somebody asks you a question does not mean you have to give them the answer. This is nasty. You should have known all along, sir, that she was trying to play you in order to get herself to a better position. And the gender war bullshit that she was speaking on was, are women more afraid to negotiate their salaries than men are? Are men more assertive? And although I actually agree with the premise she was making, the reason she brought it up was to deflect on why she was pocket watching Flip when he was on vacation and seeing how many days he was able to execute in his contract negotiations and why. And why are you able to leave Patreon so early? Well, Mel, I'll answer the question since Joe's not going to be able to answer this question. Flip has exceeded his value and brought more value. But this is old Elevation speaking, because clearly every time you do something, it's of nuance and it gets the people talking. So I can't even say that anymore. So that's why I say I'm in agreement with you. It's just nasty that this is the second and third time that I've seen you within the span of a week doing some foul shit behind your coworker's back. Not trying to necessarily get him fired this time, but you are doing things behind your coworkers' backs with information that they gave you confidentially to further your position and lessen and weaken theirs. It'd be different if you were hating on Ice and Ish and there was no discrepancy, but you used Flip, the person that you were having a discrepancy with, to further that agenda. You just said that this nigga needs anger management. You're pointing out that this nigga is taking days off whenever he wants. He's leaving early whenever he wants. He doesn't have to be included in all the conversations. That's nasty. That's nasty. But I want to get super duper deep into this because this is a super duper deep conversation. And I advise two things. Don't mingle with anybody from the opposite gender at work because it'll always fuck with your finances. And B, the friends you make at work, you have to know how to associate work friends and people that you know or that you're friends with that you work with. There's a difference. You can't divulge your information contractually about what it is you make at the job that you're working at with somebody else. Duh. And it's not like y'all are getting hired signing applications. Y'all are all independently contracted. So if one of them is reaching out, y'all all have to take the ICE approach with this. I'm not rich. I'm not speaking about contracts, business in front of anybody without my lawyer present. It sounds funny, and it's all fun and games until stupid shit like this happens. And Melyssa is I can't be mad at Melyssa because yes, nigga, I'm gonna do what I have to do with the least amount of work and trying to be the highest paid. Because in Melyssa's head, and this is how athletes operate as well, so I actually salute her for this. But in Melyssa's head, out of all the co-hosts, I'm the highest tier. I'm the highest ranked. So why is it that Flip gets to do these things, but I don't? Even though I constantly do these things. And I'm not going to shit on Melyssa. This is a shit on Flip and everyone excluding Melyssa episode today. But no, I got to actually start giving her props. Because as divisive as I feel she is, and it makes me feel red pill at times, or most times every time I hear her speak, but every time she has something to say, I want to say something in response. It's working. She's doing the Joe Budden model. And shout out to Joe Budden, man. I was just thinking about this the other day because I'm looking at what I'm about to get paid for this week of YouTube, and it's like, oh, okay. I'm an idiot. Why have I not consistently been doing this? But I'm noticing that I'm able to interact with y'all, and I'm loving it because a lot of content creators will get the views and they'll have the subs, but they don't have the interaction with their fans. So you'll see a lot of people with 1 million subs, but they're only getting 30 or 40,000 views per video. Joe has geniusly worked in his podcast, his audience constantly interacting with his podcast. So we're watching throughout its entirety, so his retention rate is all the way up, just to see if he's dropping any nuggets for us to talk about. So not only are we talking about the pod in his feeds and his comment sections on all his socials, but we're making videos on it, and then we're talking on the comment section in the videos that like a sublet to Joe. So he has the Ryan Leslie model, except he didn't have to get email addresses and phone numbers. I have everybody constantly coming back to the product that I'm selling to interact with me or the possibility of interacting with me. And I didn't even understand the spaces at first, but now I'm starting to understand it on his behalf because I get to freely interact with y'all to the point where y'all feel y'all know me and y'all will willingly come back to my product just to see if any of y'all interactions or any of the topics of the interactions that I had with y'all in spaces make it to my major platform. And then the niggas that do the chop and the clip content of me and using my voice and the bloggers and all that shit, it's bringing more engagement my way because they want to see if I was full of shit or if I had any genius behind my conspiratorial rants. So I'm taking notice, and Melyssa is too. Because the same way we're divisive about Melyssa and Dog Pound and Melyssa over here on the JBP, who's to say that this same energy won't follow her? And maybe she's finally realizing that the bad engagement is honestly better than the good engagement when it comes to people interacting with your platform. So I'm very curious to see how this works. But yeah, Flip, this is a lesson more so to you than it is to Melyssa. This is a lesson more so to you than it is to Melyssa. Always know that people are gathering information that is going to be beneficial to them. Always know that you are a pawn on somebody else's chessboard. One thing my brother told me that's always going to stick with me, and I'll end it on this note, is everybody operates in their own world. And when he said it, it hit me because it's like, I get mad at people because of how they treat me. And I get mad at society because of how they view things in a way that I don't. So you have to imagine who else is doing that. And who else is operating like that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all like the page. Make sure y'all like the video if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the page. And make sure y'all come back for tomorrow's content. Because you know it's going to keep coming, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's keep turning up. Until next time, y'all be safe. All of this is happening in real time. The person that I haven't said a word about is Melyssa. Unfortunately, I think shit's gonna hit the fans real quick for Melyssa, and not in the way that y'all think that I'm speaking on. I think Melyssa's building up the case. I'm just gonna say it right now. And Joe is walking straight into this trap.